Hello, Renee Flamont here. You guys, this video is because I believe that there's an entire leg of the truth that is your life with the narcissist is that you are exhausted from multitasking your way through the entire thing as you juggle the many different facets of being with a narcissist. And I'm going to unpack that in the next few minutes. But I want to take a second. The way I came upon this video is weird. I'm not a good multitasker. It stresses me out. I've done it. We've all done it. But I know it's not when I'm going to perform my best in any of the capacities. I'll check them all off. I'll get them done. But I'm best when I'm left to concentrate, okay? So you can imagine that being with the narcissist completely wiped me out. The way I came to be making this video and the way I come to be making videos comes in different inspirations. Sometimes you guys ask something or say something and I bank that, and as soon as I get to a space, I want to answer that. Sometimes things come upon me like this. I told you before, my process is I film the video and I watch it at the same time to make sure I didn't say a name or say any kind of word or swear word. I mean, I'm not proud, but I do swear in my personal life. But I'm very, I never did in my life till my mid-30s. God, this is a digression within a digression. So I don't want to on camera. But anyway, I make it, I watch it, I post it, I watch it. And that's it. So when I made and watched the last video, which you just watched yesterday, I noticed at the very, very, very end, and my hand goes over the camera. It's at the very end because I try to move the camera to show you Minnie sleeping, and I repeat myself twice. You know, I can't do it. And I've told you before that if I can ever walk and film at the same time, I would show you the outside. There's a reason I don't touch the camera. I can't multitask. So I'm watching the last 2 seconds of the video and I'm thinking, I should crop this off. This is like not necessary. Because I've learned how to do that if I had to. I didn't crop it. I left it because I wanted you to see it because that sparked this video. I can't multitask. I don't do it well. I just moved the camera 3 inches and I got all fatoutzed. Do you know what I mean? Like I repeated myself. My hand's completely blocking the camera. I'm just no multitasker. It puts me in a bad space already. Nothing to do with the narcissist. So you add in a little narcissist and they're making you multitask. I know it about myself that I can't in life. I don't juggle well. It causes me stress. I've done it, of course, like I said, we all have. But I feel every single nerve when I'm balancing or teetering. Some people can handle 100 things at once gracefully and they seem to glide. That's not me. You can tell if Nene has too much on her plate. I'm a walking ball of nerves. That's why I try to handle one thing at a time. So you're juggling with the narcissist 24/7. That's all you do is multitask. And here's where I'm going to explain to you how and why that is. Emotions all over the place constantly, fighting all over the place constantly. I knew that every 12 hours, darkness was going to come. And I told him that. I said, you can't go past 12 hours without causing destruction, drama, trauma, or what have you. You can't go 12 hours, every 12 hours. And in between the destruction, there was the love bombing and the charming guy and the 5% guy and maybe not, but maybe, probably a little bit. And then every 12 hours. So you live ready. You're on the edge. You're still getting over what happened at noon. And here comes midnight, boom. A whole bunch more juggling, more processing to do for you, and you're still doing noon. Talk about multitasking. My brain was ready to explode with all this. I don't know about you guys. So, more stories to hear at midnight. From noon, you're still not over those. More secrets to keep. More lies you have to tell to keep the secret of how they are with you. Drained me. Oh, yeah, he's, you start, whatever your situation is, he can't come, he was working, or what's wrong with him today? He seems grumpy. Oh, he had a bad day at work. Meanwhile, you guys just had a blowout in the car on the way because you found a text on his phone that indicates he's betraying you. But you can't say that, so you have to lie and keep it up. You don't think that's multitasking? That is exhausting. And you're not used to lying to this person. It could be your best friend, but you're embarrassed, so you don't want to admit it. And you don't want them to judge them later when you decide to keep them around, because you know in your head that even though you did just find this text in the car showing you that they betray you, you're not ready to dump them yet. And you're going to continue the fight as soon as you leave this event. It drained me. All of it. And that's just one little tiny thing. But it's 24/7. Always something new. The life with a narcissist is a constant battle. A tightrope walk. Juggling act of so many transgressions. You forgot the first 100. You weren't done processing the hurt from the first 100, and there's the second 100. So now you're forced to forget the first 100 is kind of what I mean. You'll never forget, but move on to the second 100. You got to process. This is coming at you now. These are new bullets. This is shrapnel. I'm going to shelve the first 100. Now I have to deal with this. Oh wait. Now it's noon the next day. Give me the next 300. It's exhausting. And I think, how could anyone be expected to receive, pile on, or have piled on to them infraction after infraction, betrayal after betrayal, and not become depleted to the point of I quit? A lot of you ask me, I get this question a lot. How do you seem so happy? How did you do it? I became depleted. I was done. I was full. Full. My tank was full. Meaning, this is where it ends. This is where I was. I was depleted. I couldn't handle one more thing. And actually, it's the same exact feeling I got with the narcissist I've spoken about that was in my life that I had to cut contact with. I was full. My tank was full. I don't want to process one more thing from that person. I don't want one more incident. I've talked about incident 0 that I talk about, which is the first thing, and then you pile on. I don't want one more incident. I want to stop it at incident 27. That's it. The only way to guarantee no more incidents with a narcissist is to cut them off. I feel like I was so spent. My favorite activity, and I'm not kidding, for a while, became staring at the wall. Just thinking and staring. Numb-like. Dumbfounded. Stunned. In shock. Again and again and again and again and again. Well, if you're in the middle of one of these agains, how much do you want to take? I think of boxing. How much does he want to take? Is he going to keep getting up? Stay down, I find myself saying. Stay down. They want it. They want the belt. They want the win. They're going to keep getting up. So how much do you want this? And are you winning if you get anything? And why are you hanging in there? And aren't you exhausted and beaten down? What is your tolerance level? How much do you want to keep having piled onto you? Because again, they're not going to stop piling things on. That doesn't change. Their behavior doesn't change. Even if it ceases for a while. Okay, you went to counseling. They're going to behave for a while. They're going to prove to you they can for 6 months. God, I detest being the one to say this. They're going to learn how to behave better in that 6 months, maybe for a little while to prove to you. But my bet is they're just being more careful to not get caught. And even if they did behave for 6 months, talk to me in the 7th month. They don't change. Ever. So it's a tightrope walk forever. ever with a narcissist. And that is juggling, that I had just come to a point and decided, absolutely not. I can't do this. I don't multitask very well. I sat myself down. I said, you're gonna get to the brink. You're gonna lose your mind. I was losing my mind. Juggling their emotions. Are they up today? Are they down today? Who am I encountering at dinner? Is he talking? Is he silent treatmenting? Just because? Because he maybe had a bad interaction with someone off to the left of his life that I'm supposed to not know about. So he's going to take that on me and be silent during dinner with no reason. But by 9 o'clock at night, he's going to come around, hey, you want a cocktail? Like nothing happened at dinner, that he didn't do anything. Because technically he really didn't do anything. But you know it was different, and he knows it was different, and he knows he has a reason, and you don't know the reason. How can that not be exhausting? I ask you to look at it all. It's stretching you further than you realize, all of that. And inherent in that is all of the juggling, all of the multitasking, which it's just the simple little thing of having me try to move the camera brought this all to my mind. That's essentially what you're doing. You're multitasking your way through the whole thing. It's never just restful. You know, like in a non-disordered relationship, there could be things that are restful, right? Like, of course. And there could be things that are bad, too. There could be a bad thing in a non-disordered relationship. You have a thing, whatever it is, whether it's a betrayal or not, I don't know. But you have fights. People are different humans. Of course you do. But not with the devastation, generally not with the frequency as with the narcissist, and not with the devastation or destruction of the narcissist level infraction that comes along with which you deal. So you can't process it in a non-disordered relationship. Together, you can work on it, the one thing at a time that perhaps comes up in the normal course of life. But after 487 ongoing things, again, be it the partner that was in my life, or the other narcissist that was in my life, or other narcissists I've known, after 487 ongoing things, my mind was at a place where I couldn't take in one more thing. You got to get there. You're done. I was multitasking, handling last week's transgression, this week's infraction, last month's betrayal, and so forth. And now you're hitting me with new material? I was going mad. I was going mad. And I was going mad, insane at myself, saying, this is the living definition of insanity. You keep going back in, expecting a different result. Nothing's changing. So I was going mad. And I felt mad. I did. I guess that's where the end was coming for me. I could not handle one more thing. The only guarantee, like I said earlier, to not have one more thing go wrong in your life with the narcissist is to no longer have them in your life. There's no stopping their behavior. I want to make sure I make that clear. That part of the equation is the constant. The constant, the math of it. The variable, the only variable that can change is you. They won't. So taking you out of the equation will help you. And I'm not advising you because I don't do that. You'll leave when you want to. And it's a process for all of us. But I want to point out to you, aren't you exhausted? I was spent. So knowing that the only variable that can change is you and that they won't ever, I cut them out. I realized that was the, I wasn't going to change and accept their behavior. That wasn't going to happen. That's not a possibility for the variable that is I. No. Suddenly accept their behavior so they don't have to change and we can still equal being a couple? No. So I cut them out. It's the only thing I figured I could do. I looked at it like, I don't know, a math equation. Any narcissist in my life has been cut out or reduced to the lowest amount of contact possible. We've talked about that. Sometimes you can't cut contact. I'm done. And that's the point you get to. You really get to that exhaustion point and you can't expect yourself to rally. yet again. We can only absorb so much before we break. We're human beings. And you know, now I recognize the triggers I have as a result of having people mistreat me. I won't tolerate a thing anymore that seems like it's going to lead me down an unhealthy path, an exhausting path. I've rebuilt myself to be able to spot behavior that isn't acceptable, that will trigger me. And I avoid those people and those situations, period. I'm done. I'm done. I'm 54. When can I leave the kids' table and join the adults and be treated as such? I don't want to mess with this childish behavior, these people that were stuck in toddlerdom and they are emotionally stunted toddlers. I don't want to deal with that anymore. I want to move into adulthood with healthy people, healthy-minded people. I don't want to spend my energy trying to process the thousands and thousands of tasks this narcissist keeps throwing at me. And every time you're in their company, it's new stuff. New hurtful words. New little digs they get in. New betrayal you find out. A new fight that you have. I was exhausted, so I quit. I just wanted to point this out because if you are feeling at your wit's end, that might be what this is. What I've just outlined for you, that might be what a call you need to answer. That might be your message that, yeah, this isn't good for my health. I need to get out of this situation. If you can, if you want to, if you arrive there on your own. I always put that disclaimer because we all have our own journey. But that's my answer to many of you asking me, how did you do it? How did you do it? I was exhausted. I was spent. And, you know, when you get to that point, I was uninterested. I was even unattracted to the person. Because you start to look at them like the people that they are, be it partner or the other one, and I'm like, I'm spending all this energy because I'm all for that. I've told you I'm codependent. I'll knock myself out for the people I love. I'm still codependent. I deal with it, but I know that I am. So I'm the type to put in a lot of effort, but I'm doing it for someone that's not valuing me back. And then the bitterness comes. Then the anger comes at yourself. I'm like, what am I doing? Just a different way to look at things. Okay? Please hit sub, like, and share, and I'll see you next time.